better myself.
Fisher Investments, clearly different wealth management. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hey everybody, it's Stephen A. Smith, and everyone knows my feelings on Cowboys fans. But really, Justin Kenner, you're a Cowboys fan and a Browns fan? Good Lord have mercy. I don't know what the hell to do with y'all. I really don't.
Exactly, Stephen A. He's been here for 10 years, and we're still trying to figure him out. The Justin Kenner Show, weekdays at 3 p.m., right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. You want hot takes?
No, I'm not going to apologize to Ryan Day. Everything we said about Ryan Day up into the playoffs was true.
Not bad. Come on, Kenner. You can do better than that.
To be fair, of all the elite quarterbacks in the NFL, Joe Burrow is the least accomplished.
Getting better.
1,000,000%. I 1,000,000% believe that the Dayton Flyers are afraid of the Wright State Raiders. That's why they come up with every excuse in the book not to play them.
There it is. The hottest take of them all. It's the Justin Kenner Show, presented by Frickers, live on 1410 ESPN Radio.
All right, everybody, we are off and rolling here on a Tuesday. It's the Justin Kenner Show presented by Frickers. Frickers, your home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. As we sit here today on the 18th, we are, 2.5 weeks away from the kickoff to the college football season, at least 2.5 weeks away to the kickoff to the Ohio State Buckeyes, nonetheless, because football season's officially here. In 2 days, we kick off the 2026 OHSAA high school football season, of course. And then here in a couple of weeks, college football kicks off. And then the NFL, your Bengals, my Browns, and the rest of the NFL kicks off here in a few weeks as well. We got through it almost, right? I mean, we still have a couple weeks left, but high school football is officially here, which I'm excited about that. We're going to, of course, have Alter and Fairmont, the Battle of Kettering, for you coming up Thursday night at 7 o'clock right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. But we'll have more on high school football here in the Miami Valley and the state of Ohio coming up more just around the corner. We'll get into the NFL. All teams have a preseason game under their belt, and which of all the storylines that are coming out of NFL preseason, which ones are we overreacting to, and which ones should we really be reacting to when it comes to your Cincinnati Bengals? The Browns, of course, making headlines with not just who they started at quarterback in preseason game number 1, but, well, how did those quarterbacks look in Browns preseason game number 1? We'll get to all of that coming up. But I want to open up with some Ohio State talk. A few years ago, before Ohio State won, before Ryan Day won his first national championship, I was defending Ryan Day when he was at his lowest of lows, when I was coming out saying, I think Ryan Day does everything correctly except one thing, and that is the handling of the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry. I think that he does everything very, very, he recruits well. He's a great person. All right. He does nothing but win. He makes the playoffs constantly. He's always won. He rarely loses. He checks off so many boxes, right? And checks off so many boxes. And the only thing that I would give him an F on is how he handles the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry. Because when you are Urban Meyer knew how to make the Michigan game the number one priority while also, keeping the team on the tracks for still continuing to try to accomplish everything else that they wanted to accomplish. And that's what was always most impressive about Urban Meyer, is that no matter what was going on, it was all about beating Michigan, but it was still about playing at the highest level. It was still about being in contention to win a national championship. Ryan Day hasn't been able to do that. And last year, when they beat that team up north, it finally felt as, he won the national championship for the first time as Ohio State's head coach the year before, and then finally beat Michigan. I know he beat Michigan early on, but these were all of his guys. This was putting an end to that 4-game losing streak. It almost felt like, okay, we can't ever put Michigan behind us, but it's like it took that monkey off his back a little bit in regards to that constant stress of, we got to beat Michigan. We got to beat Michigan. It went from every year, we got to beat Michigan, to, oh my gosh, you have to beat Michigan now because you've lost not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 straight times. That pressure kind of fell off his shoulders a bit. And, I heard Ryan Day in the press conference the other day talk about last year, how important it is to limit distractions. And he felt that there was a lot of distractions in preparing for the Big Ten championship game and preparing for the college football playoff. The distraction being, of course, losing coaches to other jobs. When you lose a Brian Hartline who surprised everybody by, leaving and taking another job, but sticking around to still be a part of the team throughout the Big Ten championship game. Ryan Day referring to some of those things as some of the distractions that they had to overcome. I'm here to tell you right now, this is where I'm starting to check out on Ryan Day again. I was all about Ryan Day. I felt for him about the Michigan rivalry because I felt like he was falling for what we all pressured him into, which was making that the number one priority when it never should have been. You guys know my take on this. Michigan should never be the number one priority if you're Ohio State. It's all about national championships. When you continue to, when you have the best resources in the world and you go out and recruit the best players in the world, you are in position to go win national championships. And that should be your number one priority only. That's it. All right. You should want to beat Michigan. Yes, they're your hated rivalry, but you should also want to beat Oregon. You should be just as pissed about losing to Oregon as you are about losing to Michigan. And same thing if you lose to a Michigan State. Same thing if you lose to a Ball State in week 1, which isn't going to happen. Losses suck because you're Ohio State. You have the number one resources in the world. You spend so much money in NIL. All right. You have the best players in the world. You play at the shoe for your home games. It's Ohio State. It's everything. The biggest mistake I thought Ryan Day ever made was actually falling for the BS lie that we've all conditioned him to believe, which is Michigan's the number one most important thing. It is not. And I thought that by beating Michigan last year, that would finally kind of put to rest some of that pressure and that it would just be able to kind of focus on everything all at once and give equal attention towards everything. But when I heard him say last year that the distraction of losing Brian Hartline was a problem in the Big Ten, that sounded like excuses now. There's always excuses that I'm getting tired of with Ryan Day. The inability to be able to manage the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry. I get tired of that. Even with the win. What I think happened last year is even when I thought that Ryan Day took some of the pressure off the rivalry, I think he still continued to put so much pressure on the rivalry that Ohio State, after the Michigan game, it truly did feel like they took their foot off the gas. All right, we beat Michigan. Season goal complete. This is why I don't like the rivalry when we condition it like that or position it like that. It's all about the rivalry. We beat Michigan. We snapped the 4-game losing streak. That's super. And then you look like ass against Indiana in the Big Ten championship. You look like double booty in the playoff game against Miami. But hey, it's okay because you finally beat that team up north. What I think happened is this is a team that was undefeated in the regular season, the number one team in the country, punched teams in the mouth. You finally beat Michigan, and it's like, okay, cool. We accomplished that's the dangers of the rivalry, in my opinion. When you make that the number one priority, that becomes an issue. That becomes a problem. And that is why they lost the Big Ten championship. That is why they got knocked out of the playoff, one and done. Because they took their foot off the gas. Nothing felt as important after that, and that was a problem. And that's my concern with Ryan Day, is even with a win over Michigan, he still does not know how to control the rivalry to where it consumes their day-to-day. I think Ryan Day is a hell of a football coach, but I think that the Michigan rivalry has really kept him from being a dominant coach in regards to being able to keep the message. And it's not, we got to beat that team up north. No, it's about national championships. And Michigan has already beat Ohio State, in my opinion, before the season even kicks off. And it's not about the actual game itself. It's just about the fact that Michigan lives in Ryan Day's head so much, even when preparing. I get it. It's Ball State week 1. But you got Texas coming up around the corner. This is a season that, of course, features so many teams in the top 25, so many elite teams. You got to play at Texas. You have to play at USC. You have to play at Indiana. You have to play Oregon, who's the number 2 team in the country, of course. Yes, you have to play Michigan. But it's a long time between now and when you play that team up north come Thanksgiving weekend. How about we start focusing on Texas? Indiana's not too far off in the distance. You have USC on the road. Focus on those games. And instead, Ryan Day is wasting time by coming out and announcing that, you know what? We're going to go ahead and, we're going to move Senior Day to game 1 of the season. Ryan Day says we want to keep much of the focus on the game. There's already enough distractions during that week. So this was just one more thing that we felt like we could move. Head coach Ryan Day, of course, says Ohio State decided to move Senior Day to week 1 to help remove another distraction from Michigan week. What distractions are going on during Michigan week? You're preparing for Michigan. Oh my God. I think we lost those 4 straight games to Michigan because we had the nerve to honor our seniors. That's soft loser behavior. I'm sorry. I think this is the dumbest thing ever. I think moving Senior Day to week 1 because you don't want a distraction. Ryan Day's not capable of coaching. He's not capable of preparing his team for that team up north because he has to honor his seniors. I'm sorry. This is the silliest thing I've ever heard of. Just when I thought Ryan Day was ready to not move on, you can never move on from the Michigan rivalry, but at least move on from the pressure of that was mounting after that 4-game losing streak. He still somehow finds a way to up the ante with that. I do think that Ryan Day has never been able to manage the Michigan rivalry. All right, I think that even when they won last year, they lost, because I do truly believe that after they beat Michigan, after losing for 4 straight years, they took their foot off the gas against Indiana, they took their foot off the gas against Miami, and they did not look like a team that went 12-0 and was the number 1 team in the country for the first 3 months of the season last year. Oh, we beat Michigan. Finally. Season's complete. And it looked like it. It's like you beat Michigan and you were over it. And then here we are. Haven't even officially kicked off the 2026 season yet, and Ryan Day is so consumed by Michigan come Thanksgiving weekend that, you know what? I don't really want to have to be distracted by honoring my seniors in the game against that team up north. So let's just get it done against Ball State. Stop. This is when Ryan Day is trying to sound cool. He's trying to sound powerful and in control of this situation, and all he's doing is reminding us that he is not in control in this situation. I'm sorry. I don't like it. I really do think it's silly. I think this makes Ryan Day look weak. I think it makes Ohio State look weak. And that's not easy to do. Ohio State's a hell of a program. In my opinion, the number 1 program in college football. But I think they would be that without Ryan Day, to be quite honest with you. And I like Ryan Day. I'm a Ryan Day guy. I've defended Ryan Day more than most. But I'm sorry, this is soft. Michigan they're already 1 up on Ohio State this season, and we haven't even kicked off the season yet. Moving senior day is soft. I'm sorry. 937-518-1410. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Agree or disagree? What do you guys make of Ryan Day moving senior day to week 1 against Ball State coming up here on September 5th? 937-518-1410. You can call or text. Do you like Ryan Day moving senior day because it's a distraction as they prepare for that team up north? We'll pick up with this when we come back.
Nobody builds a business without hearing a few reasons it won't work. Too risky, too crowded, too ambitious. But the people who move things forward usually hear those words first. Because growing a business takes more than optimism. It takes nerve, and eventually, a partner built for what's next. That's Next Rodeo. Big thinking, proven creative. For businesses still moving forward. Next Rodeo. The difference between the business you have and the business you want. Meet us at thenextrodeo.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Hey, Albert, can you help us plan and budget for a bathroom renovation?
I certainly can. Let me review your finances.
Who are you talking to?
Albert, my AI financial assistant that I can access right in the app. It automates all things finance, moves money, pays bills, creates personalized alerts, finds savings, and so much more.
Your bathroom renovation financial plan is ready. I found cash you can put aside, and to cover the rest, Albert can get you up to $10,000 fast.
Can you find contractors nearby within our budget?
Here's a list of contractors. Would you like help requesting a $10,000 loan for your bathroom renovation?
Yes! Download the Albert app and use promo code CLEAR to access Genius. Plus, get up to $10,000 for whatever you need. Just download the Albert app right now and use promo code CLEAR to get up to $10,000. That's promo code CLEAR.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each. $30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet. Rely on 2 lines of Essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
We wouldn't be celebrating America 250 if it wasn't for a strong foundation set by the framers. Hamilton built Americans' financial foundation on the principle of sound, stable money, a principle later embodied by the gold standard. However, we abandoned that discipline in 1971 and have since seen inflation erode the dollar's value. This is Stephen K. Bannon. What is the foundation of your savings? Birch Gold Group has been helping Americans solidify their savings with gold for the past 15 years. They help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. With an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau and countless 5-star reviews, let Birch Gold help build your foundation with gold. To learn more, get your free info kit from Birch Gold by texting SECURE to 989898. That's SECURE to 989898. Take a stand for your financial future. Text SECURE to 989898 right now to receive your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold Group.
Message and data rates may apply. That pallet of pavers collecting dust, the beginnings of a garden, those stray fence posts. Are you haunted by half-finished projects on your land? John Deere is here to say, not anymore. Our compact tractors allow you to swap implements easily, and they're backed by the nation's largest dealer network. You always had the right idea, and with the right tools, those projects can get finished for good. Nothing runs like a Deere. Learn more at johndeere.com/compact tractors.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Premium Wireless. How did you get 30, 30, bid you get 30, bid you get 20, 20, 20, bid you get 20, 20, bid you get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month. Sold!
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See term.
Now, back to the Justin Kinner Show, right here on ESPN Dayton, 1410 Wing AM.
All right, everybody, we are back. It's the Justin Kinner Show presented by Frickers live here on a Tuesday. 937-518-1410. That's the number that you can call or text to jump in on the combo. Here's the deal. I'm a big Curt Cignetti fan. I love the underdog thing happening at Indiana. For those out there that say Indiana is no longer an underdog, it's still interesting that the top 25, the AP preseason rankings come out, and I forgot the exact number that it was, but it's rare for a defending national champion to not crack the top 5, the very next season, right? Especially when, the coach comes back and a good chunk of players and experience comes back. It's very strange that's the case. And, it's interesting, like college football, it's one of those where like it's whoever votes on all this stuff, it's like it's the brands that you're the most familiar with, which is why a lot of these teams get a pass. Indiana, they're new money. There's old money, established money, and then there's new money. That's Indiana. They're new money. So the fact that they're not being treated like that, I mean, they were ranked 20th last year. They win a national championship. I think they're ranked 6th. That's not a big deal. But already many people say they're being disrespected, this, that, and the other. I'm a Cignetti guy. I'm not saying I'm an Indiana fan, but man, like they're great for college football right now. I think they're just new blood, fresh storylines, and Cignetti knows how to stir the pot. I kind of like that personality. I don't know about you, but I like that kind of personality trait. But They beat Ohio State last year. They beat everybody last year. They beat good teams along the way. They won the national championship. I'm not here to say that Ohio State losing to Indiana was embarrassing or anything like that. But I opened up with this in the first hour or the first part of the show that I believe last year, another example of this Ohio State-Michigan rivalry, it needs to be big. It needs to be what it is to a certain extent, yes, but I will never be on board to say that it should be everything because I think it's costly when you do that. I think that Ryan Day is a hell of a coach. I don't think he's better than Kirk Snetti, but I think he's a hell of a coach. He's won a national championship. He wins a ton of games. He recruits his ass off. I mean, he develops. He puts so many guys in the NFL. But the bottom line is Ohio State's been doing that for so long, regardless of who the coach is. So I'm not going to take anything away from Ryan Day, but let's also understand that Ryan Day still has flaws, even though the winning percentage and everything is so high, this, that, and the other. My biggest complaint about Ryan Day over the years is it starts out like this. Him taking over, when I used to hear him talk about the Michigan rivalry, it almost sounded like he was just regurgitating talking points. Okay, I need to say this because if I don't, I'm going to get obliterated, right? Look at the head coach for that team up north right now talking about hatred doesn't need to be involved, how it doesn't need to be everything. He's saying a lot of things that make sense, but when you hear the coach say it, it's like, oh my God, at least lie because people are going to pounce on you. But when Urban Meyer would say these things about how that's all he thinks about is that team up north. When Urban Meyer says the things he does about Michigan, it was believable. It was, you know what I mean? It was genuine. When I used to hear Ryan Day talk about the rivalry, I never got that. I never felt that it was genuine. I never felt that he truly believed it. I think that, okay, I'm the head coach of Ohio State. I have to say these things, but that's not how he truly feels. And I think he got, because of that, because he didn't attack the rivalry appropriately, he got exposed and he got consumed by it, and you lose 4 straight. And then last year when they got the win over that team up north, I'm thinking, okay, finally, he could put the pressure of that rivalry off to the side, and now it can go back to being about what's really important, winning national championships, which they did the year before. But what I feel like truly happened is that once they beat that team up north last year, I feel like there was just a massive collective exhale. We did it. We beat that team up north. We've accomplished our number one goal, which, by the way, it should not be your number one goal. Your number one goal should be doing what you did 2 years ago, and that was win a national championship. But that's besides the point. The point is I feel like once they beat that team up north, all right, they were the number one team in the country. They won all 12 regular season games, punched teams in the mouth, were dominant. Weren't dominant against Indiana. Indiana's a good football team, but were they better than Ohio State last year? I mean, I can't say that they weren't because they beat them head-to-head. They were Big Ten champions, undefeated, national champions, this, that, and the other. But, man, then you'd follow that up with an embarrassingly loss to Miami. Miami's not bad either. They get to the national championship. Miami was a feel-good story last year as well. Were they better than Ohio State? Well, they beat them, and they got to a championship game. But were they, was that the better team? I mean, I don't know. I feel like Ohio State took their foot off the gas the second they beat that team up north. Think about it. The year before, when they were, when it was, the Michigan game was behind them and they didn't have to worry about it anymore. It was just about going out there and punching. You go on to beat Tennessee. You go on to beat Oregon in the Rose Bowl. You beat Texas in Texas. You go on and you beat Notre Dame in the national championship game. You kick off the 2026 season or 25 season with a win against Texas. You do all those things. You finally beat Michigan. You take your foot off the gas, and look what happened. You got punched in the mouth. So the bottom line is I think Ryan Day is horrific at handling this rivalry. And then when I think it can't get any worse, he goes and he makes a stupid decision by doing something to try to look cool that doesn't make him look cool, in my opinion. In fact, I think it makes him look soft. I think it makes the program look soft. And I think it made that team up north kind of look at them sideways and say, really? I mean, moving senior day, okay? Ohio State is going to move senior day to week 1 to remove another distraction from Michigan week. Ryan Day says, we want to keep much of the focus on the game. There's already enough distractions during that week, so this was just one more thing that we felt like we could move. Ryan Day's head coach, Ohio State's head coach Ryan Day on Ohio State moving senior day to week 1. What are we doing? I think it makes them look soft. I think seriously, who has anyone out there ever said, man, I think they would have won if they didn't honor their seniors during the pregame? if it wasn't for those stupid seniors that decided to spend their careers at Ohio State and actually expect to be honored before the game. I mean, what a bunch of bums, am I right? If Ryan Day and the Ohio State cannot simply handle honoring their seniors before a game and not allow it to be a distraction, it's no damn wonder you've lost 4 of your last 5 against that team up north. It's no wonder you got punched in the mouth by Indiana and Miami in the playoffs last year. I'm a Ryan Day guy. I'm one of the biggest Ohio State fans out there, but I'm a realist, and you guys have to admit this is soft behavior. There is no one out there that truly believes that Ohio State is going to be better off moving senior day to week 1. And it's really not a big deal. Like it's not a big deal, but it is. It's the message of it. Moving senior day to week 1, whatever. We're going to forget about it. It is what it is. Honor your seniors before, but it just seems silly. It just seems silly. Not a fan of it. Shaw brings up the fact that it's a miracle, and Shaw's a big Michigan fan. He says it's a miracle Ohio State coaches for decades managed to win a single game at home against Michigan with senior day there to be such a distraction every 2 years. Shaw, listen, me and you don't agree on a lot of stuff, but I think we agree on this, that this is soft to Ryan Day. If Urban Meyer did this, and I loved Urban Meyer, I think it would be soft. Woody, anybody, any of them. This is soft behavior from Ryan Day, in my opinion. I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan of it, nonetheless. But, okay. 937-518-1410. That's the number that you can call and jump in on the conversation. Did you agree with Ryan Day's decision to move the senior day to week 1 to eliminate distractions? This one comes from Eric over in Miamisburg. Eric, he texts into the show and says, I don't understand Ryan Day's decision here. This is to sound big, but it's a small move. I like that. I agree. Ryan Day wanted to sound big with this. He wanted to sound like he was doing something when I don't think he did anything. I don't think he did anything. Shaw brings up a good point. I can only imagine what would be said around here if Michigan did this. Oh, I would be all over Michigan if they did this. If Michigan did this and said, you know what, we're going to honor our seniors week 1 because we don't want any distractions as we prepare for Ohio State, I'd be like, my goodness, that's the softest thing ever. So I'm going to be consistent with it. It's BS behavior by Ohio State, just like it would be BS behavior from that team up north. I think it's soft behavior at the end of the day. Now, here's the other aspect to it, too. If Ohio State loses to Michigan at home, you know what I mean? Like, there's enough reasons to jump on Ryan Day's case if you lose to that team up north again. Like, just because you won last year doesn't mean that you're going to get a pass if you lose to them again this year. But now all you've done is you've made yourself look even weaker if you lose to Michigan, because it's like, well, what's going on? Are you admitting that you're distracted? Because, by the way, Ryan Day, while trying to do something sound big, as the last listener texted into the show, he wanted to do something big, but he ended up making his program look small. All you did was admit that, wait, that's a distraction? Is honoring seniors a distraction? Does that really distract you from preparing for that team up north? There's lots of distraction. What distractions are happening that week? Like, what you can't handle it? I don't know. Like I said, I think that last not caller, but the listener that texted into the show saying that he wanted to do something big and instead made his program look small. I could not agree more. I think it was small. So it is what it is. What up, Rolando on YouTube? He says, what up, Justin? I don't think he believes in the rivalry with that team up north. No, I think he now believes in it because I think he realized how it almost cost him his job 2 years ago. If he doesn't go on, I don't think Ryan Day loses his job the year that they lost to Michigan for the 4th straight year. They went on to win a national championship. Some believe that's how he saved his job. I don't think Ohio State moves on from Ryan Day that season, even if he doesn't. Well, let's say they would have got knocked out by Tennessee or even Oregon in the Rose Bowl that year. I don't think Ryan Day's fired, but I do think that this last year that they played Michigan, I think he would have been coaching for his career. But because of that, I do think that he believes in the rivalry now. All I meant by that is I think he understands it's important, but I think he needed to live it and experience it first before he truly bought in. They have his attention, no doubt. So, either way. Ron Howard said, I can tell there's not a lot of material to talk about this. This is a petty subject. Okay. Thanks, Ron. Always appreciate your feedback. It's the Justin Kinner Show presented by Frickers. Frickers, your home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. We'll be right back.
QC Kinetics helps active people stay active. People like David Boardman, police officer, competitive athlete, and gym owner who trains hard almost every day.
My body's taken a lot of abuse over the years. I've had multiple knee surgeries on both of my knees. I could barely run a mile prior to going to QC Kinetics. Doctors have all told me, hey, you are going to need knee replacements.
But QC Kinetics gave David great news.
We're going to give you the opportunity to have not one, but 2 healthy knees, and we don't have to cut you open.
And after David's regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics?
Since I've gone to them, I run 20, 30 miles a week. I really wouldn't be able to do that if it wasn't for QC Kinetics.
From knee pain to Ironman training.
It's a no-brainer.
Now it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics to book your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics, 937-936-0325. That's 937-936-0325. 937-936-0325.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. White elastomeric roof coating stops leaks and restores flat roofs. It lowers roof temperature by reflecting heat from the sun, helping you save on energy costs. And it's easy to apply with a brush, roller, or sprayer. Shop our entire selection of roof coatings today on Menards.com. Plus, check our weekly flyer for all of the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Progressive presents the Museum of You.
We begin our tour with a unique piece, a relic from the early big screen television era. Remarkable. Next, we find a juicer, which historians believe has only ever been used once. And finally, compact discs from the emo era. A rare find indeed.
Some things should be history, but until then, you could protect what's important to you and save by bundling your auto insurance with a renter's policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
Upgrade to a new quality bath remodel in less time with minimal inconvenience and for less money with Bath Creations in as little as 2 days. We do it right. There are a lot of others boasting about bath remodels these days. Well, Bath Creations' expert craftsmanship and customer service speaks for itself. Plus, all first responders, veterans, and active military will save an additional $500 off your purchase. Visit our beautiful showroom at 8741 North Kimmel Road in Clayton or at mybathcreations.com and upgrade your new bath today.
Now, back to the Justin Kinner Show, right here on ESPN Dayton, 1410 Wing AM.
All right, everybody, we are back. It's the Justin Kinner Show, presented by Frickers. Frickers, your home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. Talking a lot of college football today. Ohio State kicks off the 2026 season September 5th at 12:30 against Ball State. Of course, they get a primer game this year. They do have Texas in week 2. That'll be a night game. against Texas in the top 25, top 10 showdown, of course. And last year, Ohio State had Texas in week 1. There was no primer game. They didn't have a Ball State to face off against in week 1 to prepare for Texas. It was just you had, Ohio State, who was throwing Julian Sayin out for his, to be the starter for the first time that season, of course. And then, you had Arch Manning, who had made some starts and had been at Texas for a while, but it was the first time him going out to start as the starter, and to set the stage for what would be a season for Texas that would ultimately miss the playoffs. Big game for both, but of course, Ohio State will have a primer game against Ball State in week 1 to get to that. Now, one of the biggest changes, we've spent some time on it. Ryan Day announced that they're going to move senior day to week 1 against Ball State. So that is one of the changes. Apparently, there's some distractions that Ryan Day is concerned about, and this is a way to help with those said distractions. But some of the other changes that you could see throughout, there's a lot of things that are going to be happening. Ohio State rolling out changes for this upcoming season. It includes AI-powered Wi-Fi upgrade, an expanded express entry, new mobile ticketing protections and verified resale options, as well as new game day experiences and amenities inside the stadium. So September 5th, if you are going to the game at the Shoe for the Buckeyes opener, of course, Ohio State will honor former head coach Jim Tressel with enshrinement in the Ohio Stadium Ring of Honor. Tressel will become the 3rd coach in program history to receive this distinction. The home opener will also feature Alumni Band and Spirit Day, along with Buckeyes Care. Through Buckeyes Care partners, 4,000 tickets for the game are made available to support community organizations for its partners. So that's some of the activities kind of going on in week 1 against Ball State. On the 19th, as they welcome Kent State, it's going to be the return of the helmet stripe game. I like this concept. I think it looks better, though, when it's a night game. This will not be a night game. This will be a afternoon game, of course. The helmet stripe game returns after being introduced for the first time last season. Fans sitting in the horseshoe are encouraged to wear gray, while the students will again wear colors that correspond to the helmet stripe on Ohio State's helmet, of course. The game will also be the Scarlet and Gray game, with Ohio State recognizing all of its student athletes inside Ohio Stadium, faculty and staff appreciation, yada, yada, yada. So that's some of the stuff right there. The Oregon matchup on November 7th. This matchup will be the first meeting between the programs since Ohio State defeated Oregon in the Rose Bowl. That'll be a highly anticipated home game, of course. Northwestern, Ohio State's military appreciation game, will recognize veterans and service members throughout the Our Honor Defend Military Appreciation Program. Proceeds from the official license Our Honor Defend products support Ohio State veterans, ROTC, and other military-connected student scholarships. And then I think you've heard of the rivalry game on November 28th against that team up north. But nonetheless, the fans will be encouraged to match the team's uniform look for at least 3 games this season. Each coordination effort will be announced Friday before each game. We talked about the helmet stripe game. Fans are asked to wear gray. Students will wear colors that correspond with the stripe on the helmet. There'll be the tunnel vision game when the Buckeyes will wear their tunnel vision combinations. Fans are asked to wear all black. And then there's the Scarlet Rush game when Buckeyes wear Scarlet Rush combinations. Fans and students will wear scarlet and go for a full scarlet out across the horseshoe. As far as that's concerned, Ohio State is also promoting Buckeye experiences for the 26th season with 13 exclusive options to choose from. The Buckeye experiences include like a pregame photo on the 50-yard line, sideline passes to watch warm-ups, a personalized video board message. You'll have the VIP Buckeye experiences, which I'm laughing because it includes a parking pass. And if you've ever been to an Ohio State game, you better get your walking shoes on because it's so strange. Every time I go to an Ohio State game, I think, oh, we're parking close enough. And then you walk, and an hour later, you're finally at the game. So a parking pass for the VIP Buckeye experiences, on-floor access to Skull Session at St. John Arena, a walk alongside the team, and an all-inclusive meal in the Varsity O Club. So there you go. There's opportunities and links at the website for you to go and check out and take advantage of these home game day opportunities. I'm Justin Kinner. It's the Justin Kinner Show right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. We are Dayton's radio home for Ohio State Buckeyes football. Ohio State and Ball State will kick off the 2026 season coming up here in just about 2.5 weeks on September 5th. But a week, less than a week, next Monday night, we'll have the Buckeye season preview show. That'll be from 6 to 8 o'clock. We'll have that for you right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. You'll hear the likes of Skip Mossick, Paul Keels, and the Buckeye broadcasting crew. Some other announcements for the show this upcoming season. Paul Keels, the voice of the Buckeyes, he's going to join us every Friday as we head into the weekend to preview Ohio State's matchup and all the other top matchups in the Big Ten and throughout college football. Jason Fitz, friend of the show with Yahoo Sports, he's going to return to make his weekly visits right here on the program, talk all things college football, and of course recap and preview all things coming up in the National Football League. Mike Golick, who is going to be on the Notre Dame radio crew called throughout. He will be doing a bi-weekly visit with us throughout the college football season. Of course, you can catch Mike Golick weekdays at 10 a.m. alongside Mike Golick Jr. For the Golicks, of course, and we'll be hanging out with Mike Golick bi-weekly throughout the season, of course, to talk all things college football at Notre Dame. Not in the conference, and he knows I hate that. I hate that his team is not in a conference, but we'll be talking, of course, about his Notre Dame Fighting Irish, the Big Ten, and all things college football as well. All right, I want to talk some NFL. We'll turn the chapter or we'll turn the page towards the NFL. But I did forget to dive into one thing. Yes, let's do this. We'll pop this up. The AP poll that came out yesterday. We weren't on the air yesterday due to the Reds doubleheader, but I forgot to touch on this. The preseason college football AP poll was released. Ohio State coming out as number 1, Oregon at number 2. All right. You have Indiana, the defending reigning national champions, coming in at number 6. So 3 Big Ten schools taking up 3 of the first 10 slots right there. You have Georgia making the SEC's first appearance in the poll, coming in at number 3, Notre Dame at 4, Texas at 5, Miami, who had a great season last year, the return of the U. Can they make it back-to-back years? Right behind Indiana, there's Texas A&M at 8, Ole Miss 9, and Oklahoma coming in at 10. Brett McMurphy tweeted out yesterday that Ohio State coming in at number 1, well, maybe not a good thing. Of the past 22 AP top 25 preseason number 1 ranked teams, 20 failed to win the national title. Alabama was the last to do so back in 2017. And I don't know about you guys, when I hear 2017, I'm like, oh yeah, like what, 5-6 years ago? No, it's 9 years ago. It's almost a decade ago. That was a minute ago. There you go. But there you have it. Michigan coming in at number 16. There's a team missing from this that kind of blew my mind a little bit. How about Dabo Swinney and Clemson? I mean, if you want to, have you guys ever seen, I'm not saying there's not one, but like, have you ever seen a coach that built a program up to be dominant and then that said coach still remains with the program as they just kind of fizzled out and aren't relevant at all? I've never seen anything like it. I'm not saying there's not another example out there. Someone show me, tell me who. I can't think of it. Dabo Swinney, the fall off. I mean, in his stubbornness and his inability to adapt with the times, whether it be NIL, whether it be the transfer portal. This is why the do-gooder mentality of we're going to do things the right way is with NIL. In fact, if the NCAA would have done things the right way with NIL, I don't think college football, basketball, and athletics would be as much of a hellhole as what it is right now. Shaw says Lloyd Carr with Michigan, but Lloyd Carr and Michigan never dominated college football the way that Clemson did. I mean, Clemson won national championships, plural, and in doing so, blew out Ohio State 31-0 in the college football playoffs, punched Alabama in the mouth. I mean, we're not talking about a team that was good and just kind of faded away. This was an elite program. These guys were putting guys in the league left and right. They were getting to national championship games. They were winning national championships. They were beating the likes of Alabama and Ohio State to do so. I've never seen a drop-off like this. I've seen, and Shaw, it's not a bad answer. I'm just saying, like, Lloyd Carr wasn't winning national championships. He wasn't doing what Dabo Swinney was doing at Clemson. I just don't get it. And Clemson, this isn't about doing things the right way. Yeah, 31-0. That 31, OH 31-0. That's always what I was talking about with that OH 31-0 with losing to Clemson like that. Not good. Not good as far as that. But Clemson, to me, the fall off for them is pretty insane. Now, again, programs win championships and fall off. I'm talking about programs that still have the same coach and have dipped off. Never seen that. Never seen it before. But Clemson not cracking the top 25. Now let me also say this. I hate the top 25. I think it's silly, the preseason top 25. I actually think the AP top 25 is dumb as well. In general, this is a content piece, which as a sports talk radio host for 10 plus years now, I appreciate content pieces like this. But I think these AP polls mean nothing. I mean, all we're going to do for the next month and some change, really 2 months until we get to the first college football playoff poll, is talk about how meaningless this poll is, and then we will never reference this thing again until the very end of the season when we say, look how many of these aren't even ranked anymore. So it is what it is. Benjamin Chimera, maybe someday Ryan Day will find some courage. Maybe someday Michigan will find a coach that, doesn't cheat them into a national championship. I do like Michigan's head coach right now, though. That's the problem. I hate that I like their head coach, but is what it is. But Ron Howard says Dabo does not believe in NIL. I know that's what a dumb thing to not believe in. I mean, that's stubbornness. When you see something that's working and you see where your line of work is going and you're just choosing not to follow that, it is what it is. Shaw says, I despise the poll because it manipulates the college football playoff polls. Yeah, to a certain extent it does. And in the reverse of that, Shaw, I guess the opposite of that is, maybe these are important because of that. People, and I've said this before, that, I don't like these polls. I think they're meaningless, but at the same time, I think it's a base that, think about it. Like we talk about, so when Ohio State beats Texas here or loses to Texas here in the next month or whatever, if they win or lose, Texas is either going to have a top, a win over the number one team in the country, or Ohio State's going to have a top 5 win, right? And we're going to base that off of an AP ranking. And then when the first college football playoff rankings come out, we're going to talk about, well, look at all the top 25 wins that Ohio State has, or the top 25 wins that Georgia has, or look at all the top 25 wins that Miami has. And we're going to base it off of how many top 25 wins these teams have based on the AP top 25. So maybe I'm wrong. I despise the top 25, but it's not meaningless. It's not that they don't mean anything. I think they stop meaning anything once you get to the first college football playoff poll. I'm actually changing my mind mid-segment. This is what happens when I don't have a co-host. I just argue with myself. But Shaw, that's a good point. Shaw messages into the show saying he despises the poll because it manipulates the college football playoff polls. He's not wrong. When we're going to talk about these teams as the playoff gets along, we get closer to the very first college football playoff rankings. What are some of the things we always talk about? Strength of schedule. Well, how do we determine the strength of schedule? Well, we start looking at how many top 25 games you've played. Well, the top 25 games are dictated by, the number in front of your name, and the number in front of your name is given to you by the AP. So we're going to prop up teams for how many top 25 wins they have, all while saying that these polls mean nothing. They mean something. But the best way to do it is what Shaw said. They manipulate the polls, and I think that's a good way of saying it. I think, and look, this would be silly too. I don't know how you eliminate. You can't eliminate. College football doesn't own the AP poll, right? The USA Today coaches poll. College football doesn't own that. You can't eliminate that. But people like me, a much smaller scale of a show here, and then even the much larger scale shows like on ESPN and Fox Sports and all those and those big podcasts out there and everything else, like this content is going to be used. It's going to control the narrative for a lot of teams out there. So these aren't going anywhere. But in a dream world, if I had control, I would eliminate the AP poll. I would eliminate the USA Today coaches poll. I would eliminate those polls. You're going to have individuals like, it's the Justin Kinner Show. I'm going to give you my top 10 teams heading into the season. Well, no one gives a damn about that. No one gives it. Even an Urban Meyer. I love Urban. Urban Meyer can give you his top 10 teams heading into the season. Still doesn't matter. Whether you like these polls or not, it doesn't matter. These technically matter. The AP poll matters. It manipulates the college football playoff rankings because the rankings are put together by a committee, and the committee has to base your success off of what you do on the field, and what you do on the field matters, and what you do on the field matters against teams that have or do not have a number next to their name. It's just the reality of it, one way or another. But yeah, Shaw, I agree. No polls till October. Doesn't matter though. College football can't eliminate these. You can't. It's not like college football is putting these polls out. It's the USA Today coaches poll. It's the AP top 25 poll. They can't get rid of those. Nonetheless. But I'm Justin Kinner. It's the Justin Kinner Show, 1410 ESPN Radio, 937-518-1410. Already an hour in. Holy smokes. We'll be right back.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. From compact track loaders to the world's #1 selling compact excavator, the Kubota construction lineup features durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all and do it right. Visit your local Kubota dealer today. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Stop by Columbus Equipment in Columbus, Dayton, or Toledo to see their full line of Kubota construction equipment, or check them out online at ColumbusEquipment.com.
KTH Parts Industries in St. Paris is now hiring and has increased the hourly wage of $22.48. That's right. KTH is looking for elite production associates, including press operators, overhead crane operators, and forklift operators. Apply today. KTH offers excellent benefits, including medical, dental, and 401k. KTH is a short drive from Bellefontaine, Troy, Piqua, and Urbana. Upgrade your career and be valued by a company that really cares about you. Apply now at kth.net, an equal opportunity employer.
Get the last roof you'll ever need with steel roofing from Menards. Steel roofing provides your home with the best protection from wind, hail, and fire. Choose from 29 stylish colors to enhance your home's appearance. Available in cut-to-length panels that cover a large area for fast installation. White and bright white pro-rib steel roofing are on sale now through August 23rd. Plus, shop our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Leon was about to leave the military.
My biggest concern was, what am I going to do next?
He found out about My Computer Career and their military transition program.
The Cyber Warrior program takes you from not knowing anything about a computer at all to being a subject matter expert.
How long is that going to take?
In the span of 4 months, I was able to get 4 different certifications.
4 months? Leon's advice?
Highly recommended.
Become a certified cyber warrior in just months at mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary. VA education benefits available to those who qualify.
Progressive presents perfectly bad excuses for missing stuff to spend more time on your motorcycle.
Hey, Tom, gonna miss the 5K. Gotta organize my vitamins. A, B, C. There's so many. D.
Now that was a bad excuse. If you love your vehicle this much, get customized coverage from Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
$5,000 sign-on bonus. That's right. My friends at Cordell Transportation are now hiring experienced Class A CDL drivers with excellent work history. If that's you, apply now. Cordell Transportation offers home daily dedicated lanes, no-touch freight, and brand new equipment, plus a $5,000 sign-on bonus paid over 18 months, paid orientation, and company 401k with company match. Apply online at CordellTransportation.com. Cordell Transportation, driven to succeed.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. From compact track loaders to the world's #1 selling compact excavator, the Kubota construction lineup features durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all and do it right. Visit your local Kubota dealer today. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Stop by Columbus Equipment in Columbus, Dayton, or Toledo to see their full line of Kubota construction equipment, or check them out online at ColumbusEquipment.com.
Raise your hand if you're excited about feeling older faster than you should. No takers? Yeah, didn't think so. Ongoing pain makes you feel older than you are. But here's the good news. QC Kinetic patients here in Dayton are getting relief, feeling younger, jumping back into life full speed, and it didn't happen in an operating room. The QC Kinetic medical professionals use the latest regenerative treatments backed by real science, treatments that take the tiny, powerful healing tools inside your body, concentrate them right where you need relief. That's how Mike is training for a marathon instead of giving up running. Patrick's golf game is on fire again. Kathy walked around Disney with her grandkids. No pain. All real QC Kinetic patients. The sooner you start treatment, the sooner inflammation eases and the sooner joint damage slows down, because no one signs up for feeling older faster. Find out if you're a candidate for QC Kinetic regenerative treatments. Your visit and consultation is free. 937-936-0325. That's 937-936-0325.
Mad River Mulch and Topsoil knows it's landscaping and gardening season. They're here to help as the region's leading provider of dry processed topsoil, mulch, rock, sand, and compost. Everything for your home's curb appeal and garden growth. They specialize in garden mix soil and offer Zubrew, a soil enrichment used by garden experts. Plus, they have specialized playground mulch to keep your kids safe this summer. If it's landscaping, your first stop is Mad River Mulch and Topsoil. Just off I-70 and Route 4 in Springfield. Order online at madrivermulch.com.
KTH Parts Industries in St. Paris is now hiring and has increased the hourly wage of $22.48. That's right. KTH is looking for elite production associates, including press operators, overhead crane operators, and forklift operators. Apply today. KTH offers excellent benefits, including medical, dental, and 401k. KTH is a short drive from Bellefonte, Troy, Piqua, and Urbana. Upgrade your career and be valued by a company that really cares about you. Apply now at kth.net, an equal opportunity employer.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We wouldn't be celebrating America 250 if it wasn't for a strong foundation set by the framers. Hamilton built Americans' financial foundation on the principle of sound, stable money, a principle later embodied by the gold standard. However, we abandoned that discipline in 1971 and have since seen inflation erode the dollar's value. This is Stephen K. Bannon. What is the foundation of your savings? Birch Gold Group has been helping Americans solidify their savings with gold for the past 15 years. They help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. With an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau and countless five-star reviews, let Birch Gold help build your foundation with gold. To learn more, get your free info kit from Birch Gold by texting SECURE to 989898. That's SECURE to 989898. Take a stand for your financial future. Text SECURE to 989898 right now to receive your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold Group.
Message and data rates may apply.
ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
Your local forecast tonight, a few clouds with light winds, a low of 65. For tomorrow, there will be clouds early with showers in the afternoon, a high of 78 degrees. And then for Thursday, partly cloudy with a shower or storm possible, high of 82. I'm Eddie Zellick for 1410 ESPN Radio.
A is for ABS, B is for BCM, C is for CVT, D is for, don't worry, we're not going to quiz you, because at Carol Works Tire, we know the auto industry is full of acronyms. But here's the one that matters the most, tire. Trust, integrity, reliability, expertise. Carol Works Tire, keeping Dayton rolling from A to Z. Find us online at c-wtire.com or talk to a real human at 937-461-5441.
Upgrade to a new quality bath remodel in less time with minimal inconvenience and for less money with Bath Creations in as little as 2 days. We do it right. There are a lot of others boasting about bath remodels these days. Well, Bath Creations' expert craftsmanship and customer service speaks for itself. Plus, all first responders, veterans, and active military will save an additional $500 off your purchase. Visit our beautiful showroom at 8741 North Kimmel Road in Clayton or at mybathcreations.com and upgrade your new bath today.
Now, back to the Justin Kinner Show, right here on ESPN Dayton, 1410 Wing AM.
All right, everybody, we welcome you back. Football season almost here, kind of is here. We kick off the high school football season this Thursday night right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Alter and Fairmont, the Battle of Kettering. Adam Campbell, Josh Copeland will be on the call for that one coming up on Thursday night. We're going to be at Wayne the next couple of weeks as they welcome a couple out-of-town teams into play, of course. But we got a lot of big games on the schedule for you this season, and excited to be doing another. I think it's 11 straight years we've been bringing you high school football right here on 1410 ESPN Radio, and we kick it all off coming up this Thursday night, of course, when we bring you Alter and Fairmont. So excited for that. Excited for the football season to be here. We're a couple weeks away, of course, a couple weeks away from high school or from college football. So that'll be coming up around the corner as well. So we're pretty, jacked about that when it's all said and done. Ohio State and the Browns Bengals around the corner. But we kick everything off for high school coming up this Thursday night, Fairmont Alter Thursday night. And then every other game after that will be on Fridays moving forward. St. Xavier will be at Wayne and St. Edwards will be at Wayne. We'll have that for you the next 2 weeks. Northmont at Beaver Creek in week 4, Springfield at Centerville in week 5. Week 6, we'll have Miamisburg and Fairmont again. Centerville at Miamisburg in week 7. Week 8, we'll have Springboro at Fairmont. Beaver Creek at Wayne in week 9, and then Wayne at Centerville as we close out the 2026 regular season on October 23rd. So that's what we have for you coming up this high school football season. We make an exception in week 1 for the Battle of Kettering on Thursday night, but after that, it's Friday Night Lights, if that's what you want to call it, but it's our ESPN Dayton high school football game of the week every Friday, and it's officially here. So we have that coming up for you here in just a couple of nights. College football, a lot of college football talk on the show today, of course. Ohio State, we've talked about it many times. We've talked about the fact that, in my opinion, I think this is the hardest schedule that Ohio State has ever had to play. Don't feel bad for them. It's not an excuse. It's just the reality of it. I mean, the fact that you have Texas in week 2, you play at Indiana, you play at USC, you have Oregon, you have Michigan. Those are just the, those major programs, right? But when you start to look at the top 25 rankings that came out, whether you like the rankings or not, it doesn't matter. This is how it works. Ohio State, of course, when you look at it, 6 top 25 opponents as we sit here right now, and other teams could play their way into the top 25. And maybe some of these teams play their way out of it. But as of right now, Texas, Iowa, Indiana, USC, Oregon, Michigan. All right. And I'd keep an eye on Illinois. Illinois is a sneaky good program. They have a good coach now. When I say keep an eye, I don't really mean like, oh my gosh, Illinois is they're going to thump Ohio State. I just mean keep an eye on some of these fringe top 25 teams. Say what you want about the SEC, but the Big Ten is finally starting to get some of that love that the SEC used to get, where you're just associated with the Big Ten. You might get a favorable ranking. And I think that's what's going to happen more as we move forward, at least with the Big Ten dominance. 3 straight years, a Big Ten national champion, of course, 3 straight years of a different Big Ten national champion. We saw that, of course, in the SEC for a stretch where we saw Alabama win a national championship. We saw LSU win a national championship. Then we saw Georgia win a national championship, and then you see Alabama win it again. It was one of those things where I was like, well, it's not just that people would say it's the SEC. It's just about, it's Alabama. It's so top heavy. I'm like, but you had three different champions in a 4-year stretch out of the SEC. We've approached that in the Big Ten. All right. Michigan, Ohio State, Indiana. And Ohio State could extend that for the Big Ten. Oregon could extend it by making it 4 straight years for the Big Ten with a 4th different national champion. Right? Like, so there's a big opportunity here when it's all said and done for the Big Ten to just continue its dominance, and they're going to have a very good chance to do so. Many out there, okay? I look at these top 25 rankings. I look at the Big Ten rankings. I said this on Friday, and I got a lot of pushback. Ohio State's the number 1 team in the country. I don't even think they're the number 1 team in the Big Ten. I think that's Oregon. I think that Dante Moore, I think that the tiebreaker to me is Dante Moore. I look at Oregon and I look at the quarterback situation and I trust it more than Ohio State's. I just do. I'm not big on Julian Sayin yet. I'm big on his potential. Obviously, we know what people are expecting of him. But, my concern is Julian Sayin last year was very, very, he was elite against bad teams. He was not good against the good teams. He was not good against Texas. Oh, well, Justin, come on. That was week 1. He had, it was his first real game. I'm willing to give you that one. Then he beat up on a lot of bad teams. Well, Penn State fired their coach a month into the season. Penn State was horrendous. Right? Michigan wasn't elite last year, and he didn't look great against them. He threw an interception right off the bat. He wasn't elite against Michigan. He was not good against Indiana. He was not good against Miami. So because of that, and he lost his last 2 games. The 2 best teams that they played last year were in the final 2 weeks of this, or the final, the 2 best teams that he played last year were the final 2 games. He was not good against them. So because of that, I can't put all my trust into the Ohio State basket until I see Julian saying, like, I think week 2 is a massive matchup for so many reasons, but that week 2 matchup with Texas, that's going to be the first time that I'm going to get a chance to look at Julian saying and say, okay, all right, that he, first full season under his belt, another full off season as the guy, he's going to be just fine. But until then, I can't go all in. We know what Dante Moore's capable of. So I'm all in. Not all in like I'm an Oregon fan. I'm just saying I'm all in on Oregon. Kurt Signetti, all this mofo does is win. And I think he's the most impressive coach in all of college football. I think he's the best coach in college football. Like I've said, I was golfing last week. Shout out to my guy Chuck and Cam, by the way. We golfing with them. Keith Byers, we're all out golfing, and KB kind of gave me the strangest look. And I said, honestly, I said, what Kurt Signetti is doing at Indiana is more impressive than Ryan Day at Ohio State or anywhere else. And he kind of looked at me sideways. I said, KB, anytime you win at Indiana, anytime you do anything at Indiana, like if you win at Ohio State, you're supposed to. Everyone's set up to succeed at Ohio State. It doesn't guarantee that you will, but if you have any kind of a brain, you're going to be successful at Ohio State, right? Indiana, that's not the case. So what Kurt Signetti is doing at Indiana is way more impressive than if he would be doing it at Alabama. By the way, I think we could be seeing Kurt Signetti's last year at Indiana. I do think when it doesn't work for DeBoer at Alabama, and I don't think it's going to work for DeBoer at Alabama, I think that they're going to be okay this year. I still think they're going to lose 3-4 games, and DeBoer will be gone. I would keep a serious eye out for Kurt Signetti to Alabama after this upcoming season. Now, if I'm Kurt Signetti, I don't want to leave Indiana for Alabama because I think that you could dominate at Alabama, yes. But winning at Indiana just means more. He's a legend at Indiana. He can go continuing to win at Alabama, and he's going to be a big face, a big personality, but it won't mean as much. It won't be as sexy as if he does it at Indiana to me when it's all said and done. So I'm fascinated by what Indiana is going to do this year, and especially having an opportunity with Ohio State coming to their place. The Big Ten, to me, has always been so boring for so long. It's no longer boring. It's no longer boring to me. I find the Big Ten the most fascinating conference in college football. I always thought, before USC, before Oregon, before Washington, before UCLA got there, the conference, all of that, they've made it interesting. Yes. Oregon and USC and the Big Ten has made it interesting. Yes. But to me, it's the Kurt Signetti. It's the Indiana. It's the blood that's already been there in the Big Ten. Hasn't been here, but they've been in the Big Ten. I find Indiana the most interesting storyline in all of college football. And college football needs the Indianas of the world. It needs proof that, anyone can just come up and be a power. Because before, we only thought, okay, it's only the LSUs, it's only the Ohio States and the Alabamas and the Georgias of the world. Not the case. Indiana can do it. If Indiana could do it, if Indiana could find the right donor, if they could find the right coach, then a Missouri out of the SEC could do it, right? Like, it's that type of thing. Anyone can do it, but either way. But, yes, I think that DeBoer, I don't think Alabama, I think DeBoer is a good coach and Alabama is a good team. But Alabama's not built to be good. Their expectations are to be great. Like, imagine if Ohio State ever gets to the point where they're consistently a 9-3 team or a 10-2 team and get knocked out in the playoffs early, and just, that's not Alabama football. That's not Ohio State football. And I believe that's just what DeBoer is. They don't recruit at the same level that Alabama did when Saban was there. They're not the same power that Alabama was when Saban was there. That's why, to me, I think Kurt Signetti is the next head coach at Alabama after this upcoming season. Especially, like, if Indiana makes the playoff and they win a game or two, and they're one of the top teams in the country again. I mean, if you're Kurt Signetti, the only place you can go being the head coach at Indiana is down. So I do think he ends up at Alabama when it's all said and done after this upcoming season. Something to keep an eye on. Just a Kinner hot take, if you will. Either way, 937-518-1410. It's the Justin Kinner Show presented by Frickers. Frickers, your home for fun food, sports, and spirits. We'll be right back.
Hi, guys. This is the Rocket Roger Clemens. You don't pitch in the majors for 24 years without feeling it later. Shoulders, elbows, knees. Trust me, pain doesn't retire when you do.
That's baseball legend Roger Clemens.
I tried the ice. I tried rest, PT, nothing really worked. When I heard about QC Kinetics, the concept sounded promising. Non-surgical regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself without surgery. Sign me up, just what I needed, real lasting relief.
Whether you're a former pro, a weekend golfer, or just want to walk around pain-free again, QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge technology and natural biologics to help restore and repair damaged tissue.
I trusted them with my joints. Now I'm back doing what I love.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 937-936-0325. That's 937-936-0325. 937-936-0325.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250, micro. And yes, I told you so.
Are you tired of just being a number? Platinum Express in Dayton treats you like family because you are. Now hiring over-the-road company truck drivers, owner-operators, and teams. Platinum Express has no-touch freight ready to move with consistent miles and excellent benefits. Platinum Express has local drivers to assist with load delivery and real dispatchers who pick up the phone. Call Mina at Platinum Express today at 937-604-8250. That's 937-604-8250.
Saving money when you shop at Menards. We have an excellent in-stock selection of Whirlpool appliances. We carry great brands at the best prices. Ready to take home today. Whether you want new laundry appliances or need upgrades for your kitchen, you'll find appliances that'll make your life easier. View our selection of Whirlpool appliance options today on Menards.com. Plus, check out our weekly flyer and find plenty of great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. From compact track loaders to the world's #1 selling compact excavator, the Kubota construction lineup features durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all and do it right. Visit your local Kubota dealer today. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Stop by Columbus Equipment in Columbus, Dayton, or Toledo to see their full line of Kubota construction equipment, or check them out online at ColumbusEquipment.com.
Experience the new $3 Pepper Jack Steak Burrito and Decadent Melty or Crisp Fresca. Limited time at participating stores while supplies last. Prices vary, tax extra.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app, available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app, free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
KTH Parts Industries in St. Paris is now hiring and has increased the hourly wage of $22.48. That's right, KTH is looking for elite production associates, including press operators, overhead crane operators, and forklift operators. Apply today. KTH offers excellent benefits, including medical, dental, and 401k. KTH is a short drive from Bellefonte, Troy, Piqua, and Urbana. Upgrade your career and be valued by a company that really cares about you. Apply now at kth.net, an equal opportunity employer.
The Happy Together Tour 2026, starring The Association, The Trogs, Chicago former lead singer Jason Sheff, Gary Puckett, Ron Dante of the Archies and the Turtles, the Vogues, the Cowsills. This Saturday night, Rose Music Center at the Heights. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com and the Rose Music Center box office.
Still using the I got a guy approach for your digital marketing? Relying on one person in today's rapidly shifting online landscape is costing you more in lost opportunities. You need the deep bench expertise of Conrex Digital. We provide more than just a presence. We deliver results. From high converting websites and SEO to engaging social content and lead generation on Google and Meta, we handle it all. Dominate your competition with expert programmatic and streaming TV campaigns. Bold marketing, real results. Visit conrexdigital.com. Conrex Digital makes it happen.
Now, back to the Justin Kinner Show, right here on ESPN Dayton, 1410 Wing AM.
The Justin Kinner Show presented by Frickers. Frickers, your home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. High school football kicks off Thursday night. The Battle of Kettering, Fairmont, and Alter. 7 o'clock to kick off, and we'll have all of that for you right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Adam Campbell and Josh Copeland will have the call for you in week 1 on Thursday night. Can't believe the 2026 high school football season officially kicks off this week. A lot of big games in the Miami Valley. We'll highlight some of that coming up later on in the week as well. NFL preseason, everyone gearing up and preparing for week 2 action. I mean, so it's like after the first preseason game, it's like it's a wets your palate a little bit. All right, you tasted it, but you're like, okay, we're just like going through Costco and sampling everything. I want the whole thing. I'm done sampling. I'm ready for the meal. I'm ready for the full entree here. I'm done with preseason. I'm over it. All right, we're so close yet so far away. But week 2 preseason action, we will not see the Browns or the Bengals play again until Saturday. The Browns and the Bills will have their second preseason matchup on Saturday, and then we'll see the Bengals Saturday night against the Bears. As far as that goes. Now, I haven't followed much of the reporters from Cincinnati regarding the second preseason game. It's early in the week. We did get to see a little bit of the starters for the Bengals in week 1 or in preseason week 1. I don't know how much of them you'll see against the Bears in week 2. And you guys know my take on this. I think that Joe Burrow has no business stepping foot out on the field in preseason. You guys watched the plays that they ran. Of the plays that they ran in the limited series that Joe Burrow and the starters played, like, what did Joe Burrow benefit from that? What of that are you as a fan sitting back and saying, man, if it wasn't for that drive right there, Joe Burrow and the Bengals would struggle in week 1. Like, y'all need to stop. The joint practices that are going on, Keith Byers in last week during his show, and we kind of discussed the him playing in the NFL for 13 years, being involved in joint practices and playing in preseason games. Which one do you get more out of? You get more out of those joint practices. I mean, coaches have a little bit more say. They can communicate with the other coach about just different looks that they want to go up against and vice versa. It's a little bit more collaborative and competitive than in the preseason, where it feels like I'm watching an exhibition game of guys who are just doing everything in their power not to get hurt. I just don't see any benefit in the preseason for the starters. However, I love watching the starters. If you tell me that there's no Joe Burrow, no Jamar Chase, no T. Higgins, no Dexter Lawrence, I'm probably not going to watch. I'm not that interested in the third string safety battling it out against other safeties who were, I don't care about that. Right. So I'm over it. I wanted to see football on the screen for the first time in a while. We've got to see that over the last couple of weeks. Now I'm just ready for the football that counts. Luckily, we get that with high school football coming up. But NFL preseason week 1, we talked about it with Joe Burrow. I mean, he didn't look bad. He didn't look good. He just whatever. He got hit. All right. Orlando Brown Jr., I mean, looking like a bad rookie out there, allowing guys to come off the edge and just absolutely light up Joe Burrow. That can't happen in week 1. Can't happen in practice. It sure as hell can't happen in a preseason game when you're hoping to get everyone out of there unscathed, and then you're having Orlando Brown Jr. look like he's never played football before. Years ago when the Bengals got Orlando Brown Jr., I thought it was one of the, they went out and they needed help on their horrible offensive line, and they went and got the best offensive lineman available. It was a great offseason get. It was a splash move. And I just think that he has been very underwhelming. I think he's been solid, right? He's been okay. I don't think he has lived up to the reaction that he got when Cincinnati first signed him. That was a big move, but there's a reason that the Kansas City Chiefs with the Patrick Mahomes decided to just let him go. There's a reason, right? Like the Bengals were so excited to get him, but there's a reason that the Chiefs were like, "You're good, my guy, but you're not great. You're not elite. We're gonna let you go." The problem is the Bengals. They treated it like an elite move, and it just wasn't. This line is not as good as what it's been made out to be. But at the same time, I don't think you're going to get a true feel for that in the preseason, good or bad. So this is where I'm at the point now where I really don't think we're going to be able to generate a lot of hot takes one way or another. We just need to get to the preseason. The bottom line is a lot of teams play and sprinkle their starters into these preseason games. September is ugly football. Penalties are through the roof, right? Turnovers are through the roof. Like the game is ugly in September. Do you guys remember the Browns-Bengals game from week 1 last year? Now, the Browns are a bad football team, no doubt. But you would also think that the Bengals were picking in the top 5 with how horrific that they looked out there. And that's not a shot at anyone. That's just the reality of it. I mean, the Browns are really bad all season, but like a lot of teams look really bad to start early on. You're going to see a lot of rusty, ugly football in the month of September. I just think that sometimes coaches overthink it. Like earlier, we were talking college football. We'll get back into this in a moment. But earlier, we were talking about the fact that I think Ryan Day is just – he's constantly trying to find things to do and say to make people believe that he has mastered this Michigan rivalry. And I sometimes feel like NFL coaches do it. We have found the secret sauce. We know the strategy to set our team up to look sharp in week 1. I don't expect, like when we talk about the Bengals slow start, I could forgive a slow week 1 start, but you can't be bad in week 2, 3, and 4. Like that's to me, a slow start is a 3 or 4 week stretch. The Bengals I'm not going to overreact to any team in week 1 if they don't look great. But I also don't think that anything you do in the preseason, as far as preseason games, is going to help you look great in week 1. I think sometimes you're either good or you're not. But the Bengals have a good chance to look good in week 1 right off the bat because there is a lot of continuity there. There's continuity with an overrated offensive line. I know a lot of the Bengals fandom shows that are out there are all about this offensive line. I love this line. Man, this is the first time Joe Burrow's ever had the same line back-to-back years. Okay, you have a bad line for back-to-back years. It's just not as bad as what it was in previous years. But, the continuity, though, there's something to be said about that. There's something to be said about the chemistry between Joe, Jamar, and T. There's something to be said about no distractions with contract disputes and lockouts holdouts or hold-ins, right? There's no drama there. There's no Trey Hendrickson that's raising hell and chaos behind the scenes. So at the end of the day, there's a lot to be said about continuity, and the Bengals have that. And I think that that's something that we're not going to get a true feel of until the first couple of weeks of the season, and there we'll go from there. As far as the Browns are concerned, there was a lot made about, oh my gosh, the Browns, like Shedeur Sanders last year. He never really got. Everyone was surprised that the Browns got as far into the season as they did in October into November without without Shedeur Sanders getting any time with the ones, right? When you had Joe Flacco, they traded him to the Bengals, and then they threw Dylan Gabriel out there, and then he gets concussed, and then they have to go to, against Baltimore, you have to throw Shedeur Sanders out there, and Shedeur Sanders goes out there in a live game, and it's the very first time he has ever stepped foot on the field with the ones. He has never played with the ones, right? And that was like the big thing, that they're holding Shedeur back. They've never put him in position to succeed, even though you talk to anyone that's experienced with football knows if you're the third string quarterback, you're not going to get many looks with the ones. It's rare if that even happens, especially once the regular season comes along. So there's always been this narrative out there that the Browns are setting Shedeur up to fail. The Browns mishandle a lot of quarterback situations, no doubt about it. The Browns is the Browns, no doubt about it. I'm a Browns fan. I can admit they Browns up a lot of stuff. But I do think we're at a point now where you bring in a whole new coaching staff. You bring in a Todd Monken, who is a very experienced coach, coached alongside, of course, Harbaugh, and has been around the league for a long time. He knows what he's doing. And now are we going to say for the second straight coaching staff coming in that another coach at another staff is doing everything in their power to prevent Shedeur? Like there's some scheme, regardless of the only team in the NFL that was willing to draft Shedeur is the team that is doing everything in their power to stick it to him. That doesn't make any sense to me. Already you have people doing the whiny crybaby thing. If the Browns are not doing everything in their power to set Shedeur up to succeed, maybe he's just not that good. I don't look, Deshaun Watson in the limited drives that he had, I thought the ball looked good coming out of his hands. He extended some drives. He can make some plays with his legs. Didn't turn it over. I thought the offense in the limited drives, again, because it's preseason. Yeah, and that's all we have to go off of. But I thought the offense looked solid. They ran the ball well. He got the ball out quick. He moved, different receivers got involved. This was the worst pass catching unit in the league last year. I say that I don't think that they are this year, but I don't know who is. But I would like to think that the additions of Concepcion and, of course, Boston, 2 first-round graded draft picks that the Browns got in the first couple of rounds, I think that's massive. I think that's going to help. You have Harold Fannin Jr. from last year, a revamped offensive line with former All-Pros, fat guys up front. Look, Deshaun looked, but again, had a QB rating about just under 100, completed 11 of his 15 pass attempts, 126 yards, didn't turn it over. Shador comes in, completes 6 of his 11 for 79. He threw a horrific interception. Dylan Gabriel got some time. Look, every national show that I come across that talks about the Browns they say best, this team's a quarterback away. Now, a quarterback away from what? That's what I would love to follow up. When I hear Dan Orlovsky, when I hear, NFL analysts, when I hear Evan Cohen in the morning, when I hear these guys say that the Browns are a quarterback away, what I truly want to know is a quarterback away from what? You take Joe Burrow, put him on the Browns. He's a quarterback. Who are the Browns? So I don't know what that means. I want to agree with it, but I don't know what that means. Because if you're saying that the Browns are a quarterback away, you're acknowledging that this defense is pretty damn good. If you say that the Browns are a quarterback away, you're acknowledging that the receiving core is good, that the offensive line is good. You're acknowledging that they could run the football, right? If you are truly saying that about a team, that they're a quarterback away, you're acknowledging that the rest of the ingredients to the meal are all there. That the rest of the ingredients to make a great meal are there. You're just missing this one ingredient to bring it all together, right? And that's the quarterback. But then they'll say that, but then they'll say, oh, but this team, they're one of the worst teams in the league. I don't see them winning 3 or 4 games. They don't have pass catchers. That offensive line stinks. The defense, they got rid of Myles Garrett, but they're a quarterback away. You can't have it both ways. You can't bring up, though, they're a quarterback away to continue on with the QB narrative in Cleveland, all while trying to fit the other narrative that this is just a horrific team when it's not. All right. I've said this since the draft. I think that this is anywhere. A bad year is 7 wins. A good year is 9. I think that they could flirt with the playoffs, with the wild card. This team, they're not better than Cincinnati. They're not better than Baltimore. Pittsburgh's interesting, especially with the Mike. We're really going to find out the Mike Tomlin effect. But I think Cleveland and Pittsburgh I think they're more similar than people want to admit. But I think that the gap is history. The Pittsburgh Steelers history and the reality that is the Cleveland Browns. But in all seriousness, if you take the roster and send it to Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh's roster and send it to Cleveland, I think you look at Pittsburgh roster and say, yeah, it's not that good. It's old. There's good players there, but they're old. Don't love the receiving core. Don't love the run game. I don't love the offensive line. Oh, they got TJ Watt. The gap between him and Myles Garrett and him and the rest of the pass rushers of the NFL is so wide right now. I'm just saying, I think, but Pittsburgh has always they've been much better at coaching guys up, but no more Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh, and Kevin Stefanski's out. Todd Monken, how good of a coach is he? We're going to find out. But preseason, as far as 1 weekend, we're going to see Shador get all the reps. He's going to start the second preseason game coming up on Saturday against Buffalo. But what I don't know is, okay, Shador, is he starting the game with the ones? We saw Deshaun get to start with Harold Fannin and Boston and Concepcion. We got to see him start with all the ones and the new revamped offensive line. What I want to know on Saturday is Shador going to get that same treatment, or are they just saying, hey, we're at least starting him? Last year Kevin Stefanski did that. Last year Kevin Stefanski started Shador Sanders, but he started him with all third and fourth string, 10th string, 12th string guys. And then people were pissed off because he wasn't starting. And then they start, and then they get mad and say, well, he's starting him, but look, he's not putting anything around him. Everyone moved the goalpost with Shador last year. I want Shador to be the guy. I'm just starting to believe now that with a whole new coaching staff, And watching Deshaun the other night, I'm not saying that Deshaun is good. I'm just saying he looked way better. But bottom line is this. I'm not very tall, okay? I'm like 5'7" on a tall day. And if you bring someone in, okay, that is 5'5", and I stand next to that 5'5" individual, and I'm taller than that 5'5" individual, that doesn't make me tall. It just means I'm taller than that person. That's how I view Shedeur and Deshaun at this point. All right, Deshaun looked better than Shedeur. Okay, Deshaun is better than Shedeur. It doesn't mean that Deshaun's good. I could be taller than the 5'5" individual. It doesn't make me tall. It just means I'm taller than this person. That's how I view the quarterback competition in Cleveland right now. I don't think Cleveland has a good quarterback. I wanted it to be Shedeur, but Shedeur, it did not look the same with Shedeur out there. I thought the offense looked capable with Deshaun, but it's preseason. It's preseason. One more time, it's preseason. It also is the Justin Kinner Show presented by Frickers. Frickers, your home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. I want to get back into our Ohio State conversation. Ryan Day, he did something that I find very, very foolish. I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. We had a listener text into the show earlier that Ryan Day did something to try to make himself look big, and he ended up making his program look small. And I agree with that listener. I agree with Eric in Miamisburg. I agree with the listener that texted that into the show, that Ryan Day, what he tried to do was to make the team look big, and instead he made the program look small. It was a weak move by Ryan Day. If you don't know the move I'm talking about, I'll tell you about it when we come back. It's the Justin Kinner Show presented by Frickers. Frickers, your home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. We'll be right back.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and